Scroll Toyota, leading the way every day. And Scroll Toyota, symbols of trust.
The OPA calls it a perfect storm of mechanical and system breakdowns. First, the failure of the point-of-sale interface that allows data sharing. Next, the breakdown of the optical scanner that was used to process gross receipt tax submissions. And then the expiration of the service contract to fix that scanner.
It was like a perfect storm. All three occurred. You had the system interface breakdown, the scanner go out of view, and the termination of a lease. Now,
So they couldn't get fixed.
So they couldn't get fixed. And what had happened was DRT was left there with a system that didn't function. They had to revert to manual processing.
Manual processing takes a lot longer, and Reventax stopped processing forms a couple of years ago. Consequently, the auditors found GovGuam is now at risk of losing revenue due to possible non-reporting and under-reporting of gross receipt taxes.
Initially, our audit was to determine how many exemptions are being used, gross receipt tax exemptions are being used by the taxpayers, and how it affects our GovGuam revenues. Unfortunately, we weren't able to determine that number, and we say in our report that it's unknown because there has been a backlog in processing of 2011 and 2012 tax forms of gross receipt taxes.
If there is a payment, that will be recorded by the Treasurer of Guam. So we do have limited information as to who has paid. What we don't have is who has not paid or who has underpaid. That's what we don't know.
And we can't figure that out?
No.
Because?
No one system has that complete information, because DRT is the main collector of that information, and their system has been down.
As a result, Public Auditor Doris Flores Brooks says that there is a high probability that millions of dollars are being lost. Cooper Nurse bases the estimate on a similar audit done in 2008 by the Inspector General. There could be lost revenues?
There potentially could be, and what we did do was...
High probability.
Yes, and what we did do was refer to a similar audit that was performed by the IAG auditors in 2008, and what they estimate is in the millions.
Surprisingly, this is the first time in 12 years since Flores Brooks took office that the OPA has been able to audit any aspect of Reventax operations.
We've hit some stone walls with trying to get in there, and they've actually written a letter to us in the previous administration saying, you don't have jurisdiction in DRT, and we kind of let that play out over the years. So,
is that right? This is the first audit ever of a DRT?
Of DRT, Department of Revenue, from
OPA
the Public
audit.
Auditor's
OPA
Office.
audit.
From under Doris's term, this is the first DRT audit ever.
In 12 years.
In 12 years that she's been in office.
Because we were not welcome, and I didn't, I mean...
You didn't want to press it?
I didn't want to press it. We had more than enough things to audit. We still do. So, I mean, we had other things to do. But now, in line with where are we, this is part of the focus. Revenue leakage, revenue shortfalls. Where are the revenue leakages? DRT is our weakest link.
Kevin Kerrigan, PNC News.